I don't want to spin this game like, what an effort, what a comeback, falls just short. No. Once again, we're 31 games in. How many times have we done this? Where they start like shit. They start so poorly. They put themselves in a massive hole. And then when things are so bleak and they make that Herculean effort to come back, yes, it looks good. But once again, how is it so often this season we put ourselves in such a hole? That is the inquisition that we need to have against this team. And that is what we need to discuss in tonight's postgame show. Before we get into it, smash the like button if you're enjoying the content. We do content like this for every Raptors game, so hit that like button to support and subscribe so you never miss out on any of that content going forward. But I'm looking at this game like, what a great second half effort. But I'm also looking at first half. We were down 40-20. We were down 13 points at the start of the fourth quarter. How have we once again put ourselves in such a hole here? Lineup change and all. In the Wizards game, the lineup change just made enough sense that we blew that Wizards team away because they suck and they have no point of attack defense. The Celtics here had no Tatum, no Horford, no Porzingis. They're still favored by 5 points. They're 15-0 now, 16-0 at TD Garden. So the Raptors were still a little bit up against it in this game, but to come out as flat as they did in this game is inexcusable. Once again, how many times this season have they gone down by 10 or more points in the first half? How many times have we done that this season? It's 16. 16 times, 31 games. That's more than half of your games. You have to dig yourselves out of a 10-point hole in the first half. I think it's now 22 or 23 games now in which the Raptors have trailed by at least 10 points at one point in the game at all. You come out flat. You come out with a poor game plan. And one of my concerns about that Wizards game was it looked good, and I was excited. I was like, okay, we're trying this. It looked good. But what's going to happen against a better defense when they take away just a simple point of attack stuff like Drew Holiday can do, and you actually have to come up with some schemes, some offensive schemes, some plays to break them down? Well, what we got today was, especially in the first half, nothing. No schemes, no plays, nothing drawn up, and the Raptors had no chance to break down this short-handed Boston Celtics team. So what did Darko do in the second half? Listen, I don't want to come off like a Darko hater or something. I don't want to come off like he can't do anything right. But I don't think... I'm almost upset he was rewarded by the second half game plan being chuck threes. Just let them go. Lean into the three-point game. They're giving us nothing inside. So instead of fixing our ability to break down their defense, just chuck threes. So what did we do? We chuck threes. My goodness. And you know what? Scottie Barnes got hot. Jalen McDaniels, of all people, got hot. And we were knocking down shots from three. And all of a sudden, with this spike in three-point shooting variance, we clawed ourselves back to this game. I will give this team credit. The intensity and urgency improved tremendously on defense, which also resulted in some easy offense. We turned stops into makes on the other end. The best offense for the team is a good defense. We need to play in transition. We need to play fast. We need to get this team moving in transition. We don't want to let the Boston Celtics get set. So even though, we quickly overcome a 13-point fourth quarter deficit, when we really come down to the nitty-gritty, the 1-2 possession gains in the last 4 or 5 minutes, that's where we falter. When we actually have to break down a defense in the half court, that's where we falter. And that's where we once again come up short. 2 games in a row against the Celtics, they go up big. We make a really nice second half comeback that falls short in the late stages of the game. We're up 4 late. Both games are up 4 late. We end up losing because we cannot get the makes that we need left in the game. So look, I can give the Raptors credit for making this game close, fighting back, doing some good things second half. But man, how many times do I have to do that this season? I'm not doing it today. I appreciate the fight back. I appreciate the energy late, but we cannot keep putting ourselves in this hole early and expecting things to go differently over the course of the game. So once again, I have to question the game plan because it looked like there was nothing there in the first half. Like nothing. There's probably a lot of people who turned this game off. To be honest, if I wasn't streaming for it, I probably would have 40-20, doubling our points. I would have shut it off then if I wasn't streaming, but somehow they still almost win. But it's just the little things late they can't really do. That's what's frustrating. And, roster stuff is a problem, but like coaching stuff, man, the second half game plan, he was not punished. It was really just a 3-point shooting festival for the Raptors. And it worked. You know what? It worked. Scottie Barnes goes 7 of 15 from 3. Scottie Barnes taking 15 threes. That's the game plan. I know he's shooting the shit out of the ball, and he shot the shit out of it tonight, but 15 3-pointers? That showcases where the game plan went for us today. So, look, full credit. Scottie Barnes is unbelievable and goes 7 of 15. He has 30 points. He has 10 rebounds. Defensive stats as well were incredible. He had 3 blocks. He had a steal. They took away, actually, a block and a steal from earlier. But whatever. That I think, as much as people are complaining about the Raptors roster and how bad it is, and you're talking with the coach, what the coach's supposed to do, the roster sucks. It's bad, but yet this roster still bails out Darko a lot of time. Barnes goes 7 of 15 from 3 and bails out. It would have been a likely embarrassing loss here. So, coaching, I still have to call into question. And I get the Celtics were still favored and whatever. We made a good fight back. Fake comeback, this and that. Would I rather this team at least, try to come back and fall down late instead of losing by 20? Absolutely, this is better than losing by 20. But it's just once again looking, how do we continue to put ourselves in these positions in the first half where we have to overcome such a deficit like this? That's where my qualms are. That's what's annoying to me. And it's tough for me to look at this second half when I see how poorly that first half went, right? That's where I take issue. That's why I'm upset. That's why the Raptors outscore the Boston Celtics on the spot 32-21 in the fourth quarter. That's why I still can't be happy with this. Because the Raptors, as much as the roster is bad, we know the offense is bad. We know the roster is bad for that. The roster is not bad when it comes to defense. This is a very good defensive roster. We give up 99 points in the first 3 quarters to the Boston Celtics. Boston's very good, but they're missing Tatum, they're missing Porzingis, they're missing Horford. We weren't expected to win this game regardless, but it's just 99 points in the first 3 quarters. You're not going to win many games by playing like that. So that I can't be happy with the comeback level. First half, full credit. Siakam was an incredible first half. He finishes 10 of 18 with 27 points. Kept us in some sort of a game in the first half. At least kept us afloat there. Second half was a Scottie Barnes show. Scottie Barnes, if I'm not mistaken, Scottie Barnes 0 of 5 from the field after the first quarter, 0 of 4 from 3, and just took off. Was he 0 of 5 at halftime? Whatever it was, Scottie Barnes had a sensational second half. 30 points in the end, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, as I mentioned. 7 of 15 from 3, as I mentioned. You got a tough game from Trent here. Can't follow up his second start in a row with a good performance. But honestly, with the Celtics' point of attack defense being so stellar, you needed Schroeder to break it down and help today. And Schroeder had a great game. Great game from Dennis. You needed his style today, and you got it. You got him at his best. 6 of 12, 2 of 5 from 3, 15 points, 9 assists, but not enough stops on the other end. You made Luke Cornett look like Shaq on both ends of the floor for a lot of this game. He goes 9 of 11 for 20 points. You got an off night from Holiday, 5 of 15. You got an off night from Derek White, 5 of 19. But the amount of threes these guys hit, the amount of backdoor cuts that were open for these guys, they were able to just pepper us from a scoring standpoint. And it came down a lot in the fourth quarter, but they still go 49% from the field. they still go 43.6% from 3. So even though the Raptors take 7 extra shots, they take the same amount of free throws. They still just can't quite get over the line. And in the big moments again for the Raptors, like, they had Dennis Schroeder at the line down by 2 and he misses one. Like, just the little things late the Raptors just don't have. So we look at the Raptors schedule. Sorry, I didn't mean to share it early, but we look at the Raptors schedule. They played it in the second half. They played it against the Wizards. They're going to be fine tomorrow. But, man, you got to be kidding yourselves if this game doesn't terrify you. Second night of a back-to-back, and the first night turned into a grueling game against the Celtics. You got to play in 20 hours. In 20 hours, the Raptors will have to be in a different city, making that trip from Boston to Detroit, and in 20 hours, they tip off against the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are 1 game away from the longest losing streak in NBA history. You do not want to be the team that loses to them. You do not want to be the team that blows that. But every Raptors fan can attest right now, they are terrified of that game. Terrified. I think every team has a right to be terrified, but realistically, they look at themselves and say, we're probably still going to win. And me, I'm looking at it like, yeah, the Raptors should win, but man, can I see them losing that game or what? They come out flat? Hell yeah, second night of back-to-back, they come out flat. They can get burned. You do not want to be that team, and that game scares me. That game is scaring me, for real. So hopefully, Toronto can still get that one done, can still come out, execute, get the job done. I mean, okay. You know, it's my job as a content creator. I shouldn't be reactionary. I shouldn't be doom and gloom. Like, the Raptors should win that game. The Raptors should win that basketball game. But I can see them losing. So, they come out like that against the Pistons, using Barnes, using Siakam, shots consistently falling from 3, not just for a second half, but for the whole game. They should win that game. But the Pistons got to look at that one, seeing the second night of back-to-back, the vulnerability of the Raptors, and thinking they can win that game. So, whatever it may be, Raptors tonight, once again, same old problems, put themselves in a hole. But on the positive side of things, they had the second half, take that momentum into the Pistons game, grab that win, grab the wins where you can get them. But this one, even if the Raptors had won tonight, I'd still be disappointed with the overall performance. And I can say that about a lot of games this season. So that's all I have to say on this one. If you guys enjoyed, smash the like button and subscribe for content like this for every single Raptors game.